Did you wake up today already feeling like the day was too heavy? Even before getting out of bed, did you feel the weight of everything waiting for you? The to-do list, the responsibilities, the expectations, the silent fears, all pressing against your chest as if life is asking more from you than you have to give. If that's how you feel today, then this prayer is for you. Before running toward what the world expects from you, before putting on the mask of strength, before carrying the weight alone, I invite you to pause for just a moment. Simply breathe before anything else. Breathe before the alarm clock rings, before your mind starts racing through your to-do list, before you remember the unread messages or the appointments you're not sure how to manage. Just breathe. It's not a command, it's an invitation. Breathe slowly, as if you're opening the door to a sanctuary, a place inside of you where time slows down, where the demands of the world are left outside, where your soul finally finds space to simply be without effort, without guilt, without pressure. Breathing is more than an automatic function. It's a quiet reminder that you are alive, and where there is life, there is presence. And where there is presence, God is. Maybe today you woke up with that heavy feeling in your chest, a kind of anxiety you can't even explain, a restlessness, coming from all directions, from many responsibilities, from old wounds you don't even realize you're still carrying. But before trying to understand any of that, before trying to solve anything, breathe, because this moment, this very moment, doesn't need to be filled with action. It needs to be filled with presence. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to be okay. You don't need to be strong. You just need to be here. The world has taught you to run, to rush, to constantly justify yourself, to get out of bed feeling like you're already behind, to live as if you're always owing someone something, as if you only have value if you're producing, pleasing, winning. But God is not the world, and He doesn't expect from you what the world demands. He doesn't ask for performance. He doesn't ask for perfection. He invites you to a place where you can simply be. You can come to Him tired. You can come to Him crying. You can come to Him lost, silent, with a broken heart. He isn't afraid of your shattered pieces. He doesn't reject your pauses. He welcomes your truth, even the parts you're afraid to face. In this place of silence, where no one sees and everything is real, God whispers, "You don't have to carry this alone." And maybe that's the greatest miracle, knowing you're not alone, even when it feels like you are. Knowing that even before your body fully wakes up, God was already there, not to demand anything from you, but to wrap you in peace. Breathe. Because peace is not born from hurry. It grows from encounter. True. Peace doesn't come from control. It comes when you let go, when you release the need to predict everything, to fix everything, to hold everything together. When you trust there is a care far greater than your own, a presence that sees beyond what you can see, a love that doesn't depend on your performance, but on your surrender. You don't need to impress God. He already knows you deeply, not just the version you show the world, but the one you try to hide even from yourself. The fears, the doubts, the insecurities. He sees them, He knows, and still He stays. He stays when you feel like you're falling apart inside. He stays when your strength runs out. He stays when your prayers turn into silence. God doesn't measure the value of your day by your productivity. He looks at your heart, and if today all you can offer is a flicker of faith, a tired sigh, a tear that falls in the middle of your routine, then know this: that is enough. That is holy, because what sustains your life isn't what you do, it's who you rest in. So, before anything else, pause, breathe, surrender. There is a kind of grace that can only be found in slowing down. There is a new beginning that can only be discovered when you stop trying to control everything. God is here, right now, and that changes everything. You don't have to hurry, even if the clock keeps ticking, even if everything around you screams that you must rush, achieve, fix, prove yourself. There's another rhythm, a quieter one, deeper, more real. The rhythm of grace. And grace doesn't rush. Grace doesn't demand that you always feel okay. It welcomes you just as you are, with your pauses, your stumbles, your strong days, and the ones when you almost give up. Maybe you've learned to get up and keep going, even when everything inside of you wants to stop. Maybe you've gotten used to living on autopilot, pushing your soul forward while your heart cries out for rest. But God doesn't want just the polished version of you. He wants your whole self, and that whole self includes your fragility, your slowness, your uncertainty. Breathing is a way to remember this, that you are alive, that even without answers, you are still cared for, that there is love even in your emptiness. Maybe today your body is tired, your mind is overloaded, your emotions are exhausted. Maybe you're trying to hold everything together, being strong for everyone else, carrying more than you can, afraid of seeming weak, afraid of not being enough, afraid of disappointing others. But here's the truth: God is not asking you to be the heroine of your own story. He didn't call you to save the world. He called you to be loved. And when you truly understand that, a weight lifts off your shoulders. The pressure to always be okay, to always hold it all together, to constantly stay in control, melts away in the presence of the one who already knows everything and still chooses to stay. It's in surrender that real strength is born, not in striving, not in productivity, not in being hard on yourself. It's when you open your arms and say, "Lord, I can't do this on my own." That confession isn't weakness. It's faith, it's spiritual maturity, it's deep trust. The world will keep trying to convince you that peace is something you have to earn, that you'll only feel calm when everything is finally solved, that you'll only be allowed to rest when every piece is in its place. But God works the opposite way. He brings peace right in the middle of the chaos. He brings rest even when the battle hasn't ended. He carries you while everything around you feels uncertain. You don't need everything to be okay before you breathe in peace. Peace doesn't come from the outside in. It comes from the one who lives inside, and he is there, even if you don't feel it, even if there are no clear signs, even if your heart is filled with questions and doubt, because faith doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just whispers, "I'm still here." So breathe. Not because everything is fine, but because you are in the arms of the one who loves you. Even when nothing feels right, breathe slowly, as someone allowing her heart to return to heaven's rhythm, as someone who accepts she doesn't need to run to be where God already is. Maybe you don't have all the answers, but you have someone walking beside you in every step, even the trembling steps, even the days when you're crawling more than standing. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, in the place where God works silently, behind the scenes of your soul, rebuilding you from the inside out. Don't despise the slowness. Don't dismiss this. day just because it feels ordinary. Don't overlook the sacred that hides in the details. Every breath you take is proof that grace is still flowing. Every pause is an altar. Every moment of surrender is a wordless prayer, and God hears, even when all you have is a tired thought, a hidden tear, a silence no one else understands. He hears, and he responds, not with quick fixes, not with shortcuts, but with presence. A presence that surrounds, comforts, and restores. A presence that transforms the ordinary into something divine. A presence that says, you can rest now, I'm here. Don't be afraid to stop. Don't be afraid. Not to know, not to produce, not to meet expectations. You don't need the world's approval. When you already have heaven's embrace, you don't need to chase the light when you're already loved by the one who created it. So before you go on with your day, do something sacred. Embrace this moment. Don't rush to stand up. Don't rush to act. Stay, breathe, surrender, and remember, God is not waiting for a perfect version of you to show up. He is already here with you, just as you are. Maybe you're still there, in silence, with your eyes closed or staring off into nothing, trying to process all that you feel, and that's okay. Not every morning begins with clarity. Not every beginning starts with strength. There are days when simply breathing is already a miracle. There are days when the greatest step you can take is not giving up, and still, God is present, because He doesn't measure you by your achievements. He sees the invisible gestures, the ones no one notices but heaven. Celebrates that tear that falls without sound, that prayer spoken without words, that thought that says, I can't take this anymore, followed by another that quietly whispers, but still, I'll keep going. Yes, God sees all of it, and He honors it, not like the world does, not with applause or public praise, but with care, with comfort, with presence. Right now, as you breathe, a peace begins to settle between the cracks of your weariness, a presence that surrounds you completely, as if to say, I am here. I always have been, and I will never leave. That's the miracle of presence, knowing that even when you don't feel anything extraordinary, you are still being held by a love that doesn't depend on your emotions. It depends on truth, and the truth is, you are a daughter, and every daughter has a place where she can rest. You don't have to be in control. You don't have to be sure of everything. You don't need a perfect plan. All you need is trust. To open your hands from within and say, Lord, this day is yours, so is my soul. To allow surrender to come before expectation, to choose stillness before urgency, to return to that sacred rhythm, not of doing, but of being. Because peace doesn't come from the outside, it rises from the heart that rests in God. So, if you're still here with me, close your eyes and pray. No pressure, no fear, only truth. Let's pray like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now, stay just a little longer. Don't rush to stand. Don't jump into the next task. Let that peace spread through you like a gentle light slowly rising. Maybe the day will still bring challenges. Maybe nothing will change on the outside, but you change. And when the soul changes, everything else begins to shift. May you walk today in the rhythm of grace. May you walk slowly, but with steadiness. Speak less, listen more, pause before reacting. And remember, you are not alone. You don't need to be everything. You just need to be with the one who already is. And if this prayer touched you, if it brought you a sense of peace, clarity, or simply a breath in the midst of the chaos, I invite you to come back to it anytime. This space is for you. This quiet is for you. This refuge is for you. And if someone you love might be waking up with the same weight on their chest, send them this breath of peace. You don't need to explain anything. Just remind them they, too, can simply exist. And let God do the rest. And if your heart was moved, if this reflection brought even one drop of comfort to your soul, you're welcome to subscribe to this channel. That way, you won't miss the next time we pause together. And if you ever forget, we'll breathe again together, just for today. Let it be light. Let it be with God.